Good morning, everybody. And last week we discussed about supplemental logging as well as Golden Gate software installation prerequisites, what are the users required and space requirements, etc. And this week we are going to see the installation of Golden Gate as well as various components configuration, plus a little bit about initial load again today. So these are the topics which I'm targeting to complete in another 1 hour's time. Okay, so before going ahead, just I would like to explain general view of my system currently, what I have in my laptop, and it may help you to understand better while installing the Golden Gate. Let me take the control of my system. Okay, now you are able to see my desktop, that is a completely blue color one. I have a mission, I have two missions with me. One is like Kamala 01 and another one is Kamala 02. Basically, these two missions have been configured for rack environment for some different training purposes. But however, I am going to use these two missions for our entire Golden Gate training to give a demos to you. Okay, let me explain each system. Kamala 1, I think red color seems to be little odd. Let me change. Okay, for our easy understanding, I'm just changing the colors to one is light green color, I mean green color, another one is blue color, so that you know you will have an idea. One second. Okay, so the blue color one is a node, I mean we can say node 1, and green color one is green color window is another window that is of node 2. So let's simulate our all Golden Gate related changes on these two environments, and Kamala 01, that is we can treat it as a source mission, and Kamala 02, that we can treat it as a target mission for all our. Okay, so Kamala 02 we can treat it as a target mission, so that you know we can do all the changes accordingly. So in 01, just I have already Golden Gate environment today morning. I did it for some other purposes, so just I'm clearing it off. Okay. Let me explain you about the current system. As I mentioned, we have two nodes over here. One is the Kamala 01 and Kamala 02, and Kamala 01 we can make it as a source database and source mission we can say, and Kamala 02 we can treat it as a target mission. In 01 mission I have a database called India database, and in 02 mission I created one more database called USDB. Let me show you. Okay, so I created one database called IndiaDB. This is located on node 1, and this environment is a ASM environment, so that we will have a better idea for I mean, just we can cover ASM related changes also with respect to Golden Gate. That is the reason we are choosing as a ASM environment over here. And in the second node, I mean in the target machine, I have a database called USDB. Okay, so here this is the target machine. So whatever the changes we are doing it on IndiaDB, we will try to replicate it in USDB. Before that, today we will focus it on configuring, I mean installing the Golden Gate software as well as configuring the few components today, as much as we can be able to cover. And first of all, last week we downloaded the software from edelivery.oracle.com. Let us first transfer the file to this machine. I think I already did today. I copied the file. Okay. So this is the file which we downloaded last week during our session from edelivery.oracle.com. As a first step to install Oracle Golden Gate software, we need to unzip this file. Okay, so when you unzip the file, you will get total 4 files. I mean, like some readme files as well as one tar file. The tar file is Golden Gate software. Rest everything is like instructions on how to install, etc. So we are concerned about the tar file. So what we have to do is we have to untar this file to install the Oracle Golden Gate software in 11G. Whereas in 12C, the installation method is slightly different. In 11G, the installation method is different. In 11G, what we need to do is just we need to untar this file in a Golden Gate software in a Golden Gate Oracle home. But whereas in 12C, what we need to do is we need to install the Golden Gate software using Oracle standard tool called Oracle Universal Installer. So that is only the main difference. For time being, I'm using 11G software now, and our entire practicals we will use it with the 11G software only, 11G Golden Gate version. And at the end, I will try to cover 12C new features as well as 12C installation also in one session or 2 sessions. Okay. And the second thing is we need to decide the location for the Golden Gate software. So what I'm looking is, so this is my 11G Golden Gate software. So I would like to install Golden Gate software into u01/app/ Golden Gate 11G. This is the folder I would like to install. Let me open one notepad. Okay, so this is the Golden Gate software location, and this is the Golden Gate home. Okay, so once we decide the Golden Gate location, then we are going to uninstall the software. So before uninstalling the software, just we need to understand the file convention. So this is the Golden Gate software, and this is the Linux machine, and this is software belongs to 64-bit. The main important point over here is Oracle 11G. What exactly this Oracle 11G is? This software is compatible with Oracle 11G database. Please note that point. This Golden Gate software is designed for 11G software, 11G Oracle database. Okay, this does not mean that this is a Oracle Golden Gate 11G. This is Oracle database. I mean, this software is for Oracle 11G database, and this is 64-bit software. So that we have to understand. So our machine is Linux machine, and this is a 64-bit machine. And the software is also Linux 64, and I have databases with 11G database, so I downloaded Oracle Golden Gate 11G for Oracle 11G database. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to unzip this, untar this file. So once I untar this file, automatically the Golden Gate software will be placed into the respective location. So what I'm going to do is just I'm currently in Oracle Golden Gate home location. In this home location, just I need to untar this file, so automatically the respective files will be loaded into that location. So for untarring the software, tar-xvf okay. So I am in Oracle Golden Gate home. This I treat it as a Oracle Golden Gate home. This one. In this location, I untarred the file. So these are the files which we got after untarring the files. If you see the files, these are the green color ones are libraries plus utilities. All the utilities, whatever you are going to use in Golden Gate, those will be available over here. Let's say GGSCI. So I mentioned sometime back, GGSCI is command interface for Golden Gate, the utility. And for all other things also you will find utilities over here itself. This is the utility for extract, and this is the utility for log dump, and this is the utility for MGR, and what else? Yeah, replicate. This is, and defgen will be there somewhere here. Yeah, defgen. So all the utilities, whatever we will use as a part of Golden Gate configuration, we will find it over here. And apart from that, I think these are the things which we will use. Apart from that, we will have SQL files which may use as and when we require. So that's all. This is a very simple software. I mean, very lightweight software which comes with less than 100 MB software, and it's independent. It's not integrated with Oracle software, so it can be installed in a separate location wherever you would like to. Either you can install it in Oracle home location, or you can install it in a separate location. In my system, I installed it in a separate location. So this is my Golden Gate Oracle Golden Gate home, whereas my Oracle home is. So this is a different. This is my Oracle home, and this is my Golden Gate home. So what I'm going to do is just after installing the Golden Gate software, I'm going to change my environment parameters also, so that we can have environment variables in place. So what are the environment variables we need to set? Basically for Oracle Golden Gate, the main parameters we need to change are two things. One is gg_home. This is the one parameter, one environment variable. This is a custom variable. Basically, it's not defined by Oracle Golden Gate. It's for our own purpose. We will create it as a Golden gg_home. You can choose any other name, not only gg_home. Any name you can put it. Basically, it represents where the Golden Gate software is installed. And apart from that, we need to change another one is ld underscore library underscore path. Okay, so these are the two parameters generally we used to set in our environment files. Okay, this specifies the location of our library files. So in this environment variables, we need to include Golden Gate library locations also. So I created one environment file called gz11g underscore env. And the home is okay, and path in fact is not required, but just I'm adding. And ld underscore library path equal to ld underscore library path colon gz underscore home, because in this gz underscore home itself we have all the libraries, so I'm trying to include that as well. Okay, so these are the changes we need to do as a part of Golden Gate installation. One is just we need to download the software from edelivery.oracle.com or otn.oracle.com. Second one is just we need to unzip, and after that we need to untar that file, and just we need to change the environment variables. These are the changes, general changes. Apart from that, we need to do one more important point is we need to create the folders required for Golden Gate to function. So what are those folders, and just we are going to discuss it. Okay. And remember, sometime back I mentioned to you all, similar to SQL prompt in Oracle Golden Gate also we have a prompt that is called GGSCI, Golden Gate Software Command Interpreter interface or something. So that one, to initiate that one, we will type GGSCI. To initiate Golden Gate command interface, we need to be in Golden Gate command, Golden Gate home only. So for that, just we will change it to Golden Gate environment, then Golden Gate home location. After that, we will type the Golden Gate and GGSCI command. In this, we need to create the folders. What those folders I'm going to show you, like after creating the folders. In Golden Gate, similar to other Oracle software utilities, we have a help facility available over here. Let me explain you how to utilize the help so that it will be easy for you. So I need to create a folders. So for that, we can generate the command from here itself. So this is the object, and this is the actionable commands. I mean, what are the actions we can perform on this object? So left hand side, the object will be there. On the right hand side, whatever the possible commands or whatever the possible actions we can perform against that object. Say for example, subdirectories. So for that we can use we can perform a create option only over here. So similar to that, there is a one manager. For manager, we can see the info manager, information of that manager, or we can start it or stop it, or we can see the status, or we can send a few instructions for that. like that. So this is the help for Golden Gate. Now I would like to create a Golden Gate subfolders. So to create those folders, just I will use this help and I will do that. So I need to create subdirectories. How I will do? So this is the create is the command, and what I need to do is I need to create a subdirectories. So when once I run that command, create subdirectories, automatically it will create certain folders which are required for Golden Gate to function. So these are the folders which Golden Gate created. So total it creates 8 or 9 folders. I think 9 folders. I think. Okay. We will discuss brief details about these folders, because we are going to use these folders regularly in order to configure our Golden Gate replication. Okay, so what it mentioned is, if you see the location of this folder, so this is the Oracle Golden Gate Home. Under Golden Gate Oracle Home, under Oracle Golden Gate Home, it created a folder called dir PRM. Similar to the same thing, dir RPT, dir CHK, dir PCS, and dir SQL, dir def, etc. So it created all the folders in Golden Gate Home location only. Okay, if required, we can change these folders as per our requirement. Okay, in case of 12C software, these folders we no need to create, automatically system will create as a part of installation. If you see, it created folders directly over here in the same location. Okay, so let me explain about these folders, a brief information about this so that you will have an idea. dir CHK. Okay, dir TMP folder. So what exactly this the use of this dir TMP? I mentioned sometime back temp location for Golden Gate installation. That temp location is nothing but a dir TMP. Basically what happens, our extract keeps on reading the redo log file, and all the transactions, whatever it is able to see in redo log file, but it will send only committed transaction to the target machine. What it does is, it reads all the transactions from the source machine, source redo log file, but it will send only committed transactions to the extract file, replicate side. So it means what it does is, it will hold uncommitted transactions. As and when those transactions got committed, those transactions will be pushed to the replicate. So in order to achieve this functionality, what it does is that it has its own local buffer, and as and when the buffer is filled with uncommitted transactions, it has to flush out those transactions to some intermediate location. So that intermediate location is nothing but a dir TMP location. So as and when, it's like a swap in our regular concept. So as and when the buffer is getting filled, what it does is that it will push out all the uncommitted transactions to this dir TMP location in the form of one file over there, so that as and when it requires, again it will take it back from that location. So the dir TMP is also important folder. The next one is SQL folder. This is generally we will use it for placing our regular SQL files as and when we are implementing any changes or anything. So what we will do is that we will generate some SQL files. So those files we will put it into this location. It's a standard only, basically. It's not compulsory to be placed in the dir SQL folder, but we used to put. And the next one is dir RPT folder. This is a important folder, and as a part of Golden Gate administration, we used to access this folder regularly. What exactly the use of this dir RPT is, the components like manager or extract or replicate process. As and when they are functioning, so those keep recording a separate log folder, log file for themselves. For example, manager is there. So manager will create one file in this dir RPT folder, and extract means extract also will write one folder over here, one file over here, and replicate. So similar to that, as and when you start, it will create one folder, and it will create one file, and it keeps recording whatever the activities it is performing. So as and when you have any issues with any particular component means extract or replicate or manager process. The first place is like this location. We will see respective component log file. This one, and there is one more file called ggserr for .log. I will explain that one also. These are the two locations where we used to check. And we will discuss about the PCS later. dir output means some output files we used to put, and dir def. This is basically to preserve the data definition, like the column definitions and everything generated by defgen utility. Okay, and the next one is the important one is dir dat folder. Dir dat folder is nothing but the location for all the trial files. As and when extract is generating the trial files, we will preserve those trial files in this location only. The location name is dir dat folder. Okay, and the next one is dir chk. dir chk, basically what happened, as I mentioned earlier, extract process and replicate process and data pump processes are having a separate checkpointer file for each component. Like extract will have its own checkpointer file, replicate will have its own checkpoint file, and replicate data pump. Yeah, data pump also will have its own checkpoint file. Why those require this checkpoint file is in order to write where currently it is reading and where it is currently writing, etc. So those information will be preserved in this checkpoint file. So that checkpoint file will be located in dir chk location. So total we will have three types of files. One is for replicate, one is for extract, another one is for data pump. Okay, and the file format is also like the group name. If it is extract means the extract related file, extract group name, and followed by cpe.cpe. And if it is replicate means that replicate process name dot what is that, cpr. CPR means that large checkpoint for replication. Like that we will have it. Okay, so this is about the folder details what we created just now. The next one is, so far what we did is we created we decided the Golden Gate home location. After that we unzipped the Golden Gate software. After that we created the folders. So this is about the Golden Gate base installation. After completing this installation, we need to create a Golden Gate users also in the database. Let me explain you. Today I may have little difficulty because I'm not able to use my digital notepad on the laptop where my servers are located. So I may need to switch back and forth. I think I will try to resolve that issue for tomorrow's session. For Golden Gate installation, last time I mentioned we need two users. One is OS user, another one is the database user. So OS user is required for installing the Golden Gate software, and today we installed it using Oracle user. Okay, no need to install compulsory in, it's not rule to use it in Oracle user itself. We can use any other user also. Only the requirement is that user should be a part of O install. So you can use any GG user, GG software user, etc. You can use any name, but only the condition is that O install has to be assigned to that user. So using this user, we already completed Oracle Golden Gate installation. Now we need to create a database user. Database user is required because it has to perform the replication related activities, and it has to read transactions, etc. So for that reason, we will create a Golden Gate database user as well. So in this process is what we are going to do is we are going to use we will create one table space, separate table space. It's not mandatory to have a separate table space, but we will keep it as a separate table space and we will create user. Third one is we will create privileges. Fourth one is just checking. Okay, so these are the four things which we are going to do right now. Let me switch back to my servers. Okay, now I hope everybody is able to see my desktop. Create the table space first, after that we will create the users, and after that privileges, and last one is the checking the connectivity from the Golden Gate. So I'm going to create one separate table space for that. Just 1 second. So this is the location where I'm going to preserve my data files. It's our database command, create tables. You can use anything, gz_data I'm using. You can use any other name also, not a problem. And data file. So let's give something different. TC underscore source data, no, India data. Let's give it. Size you can start with the 500 M, not required that much also, just we can start with that. The next one is we are going to create a user, database user. So we can create user. We can create any user, GG user or something, anything you can use it. For simplicity, just you can make the same user, same username across all the database so that you know you will have a standard across. But it is not compulsory. You can use any names for here. And so I created the user also. And the third step is we need to give the privileges for this user. So we can give specific users like to access any table, etc. The simplest method is what we can say is we can give, grant the DBA role for this user. But generally in companies this will not allow to grant the DBA privilege. In that scenario, we need to grant the specific privileges. So those privileges I'm going to share with you. Those are in my notes. So there are approximately 8 to 10 privileges like select any table and insert any table on the specific schemas where we need to implement the replication, select any dictionary table, etc. So those I'm going to share. But for making our job easy over here, I'm granting DBA as a privilege to that user. So just I'm typing everything in the notepad because I need to do the same configuration on other machine also. So just I'm copying everything. So this is completed, like user creation is completed. The now fourth step is we need to check whether the connectivity is happening or not. So for that purpose, again I'm going back to ggSCA prompt. I move to Golden Gate Oracle Home and I'm running ggSCA. So in order to check the connectivity, we will use this Golden Gate prompt. Here again, I am going to use our help. Yeah. See, commands without an object. So here, DB login is there. So here, I will use using these options, DB login and password. I will specify over here. So help. If I give this one, I will get all the options for Oracle. Yeah, so this is the one which we used to DB login and the username, whatever the user we are specifying. After that, we will specify the password. DB login, user ID, GG user, and the password is GG user. I did something wrong. Password, okay. Okay, so suppose if you see this one, it specified that it is able to connect to the database successfully without any issue. So this is about the setup required for Golden Gate to function on any database. So since we have two missions over here, like one is a source mission, another one is target mission. So I have to perform the same operations whatever I did so far on node 1, the same operations I have to do it on node 2 as well. Okay, let me start with the other mission also. So the other mission is the same, the green color window over here. Here, this is the target mission, and the target mission is having a database called USDB. So the same standards, whatever I used for node 1, I mean source mission, the same standards I will use it over here also, so that we'll have a better idea, and it will be simple for us also. So software, I'm going to dump it over here, and the software I'm going to install it at this location, and this is the Oracle home location. And the same user I would like to use over here, but instead of India, I will type it as a US, and the rest everything will be the same. So let me go back to this mission. Let me copy the software. I think software is also not present over here. Software. Okay. So now I'm creating another folder for installing the Golden Gate software. The earlier folder is for staging the software. Okay, so I created two folders. One is for 11G software, another one is 11G software installation. Now, I need to take the file from other machine. In this mission, I'm copying. Using WinSCP, I'm copying the file which is available on node 1, I mean in the source machine. So either you can do copying from other machine, or you can separately FTP the software from your local desktop. Okay, the file is available, and I did it from root user. It's not required to do it from root user itself. You can do it from any user, from even Oracle software, Oracle user also you can make use of it. Okay, so the file is available in Golden Gate GG 11G software location, and I decided to install the software in this location. This is GG 11G software 11G. So what I'm going to do is, okay, first I need to unzip the file over there, and then Okay, so it extracted the files. As explained earlier, it will create the readme files as well as a tar file. So the tar file is, we need to cross check whether it is specifically designed for our, whether we downloaded correct file or not. That is very important. So this is the Linux machine, and this software is for Oracle 11G's database, and this is a 64-bit one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to untar this file. Untar this file into our Golden Gate Oracle Golden Gate home location. Okay, here also like the same way how it created over there, the same way it is created all the files over here, libraries and everything. The next step is we need to change the environment files over here. Just I'm making use of existing env files which I used for some different purposes. So I'm making changes to this location. Okay, and the path is not mandatory. And the last one is ld_library_path. In fact, I don't recommend to use this parameter, but in some environments I have seen it, so just I included this one also over here. And the next one is, yeah. So I'm going to run this env file. So directly it goes to Oracle Golden Gate home. So Golden Gate installation has been done on target machine. Now I need to create the folders which are required. In order to create those folders, I need to change to Golden Gate home, that is GG11G. Then I will initiate a Golden Gate prompt GGSCI. Again, I will run help command. It's not required, just for your benefit I am showing this way. Create subdirectories. Okay, so after creating the subdirectories, just we will check whether those folders have been created or not. It created those folders just now. Okay, so this is completed from the Golden Gate software point of view. The next one is creating the users in the database. So rack 1. So I'm setting the USDB, target database environment. So I'm connecting to the database. Select name from $database. This is USD database. So this is open_mode from $database. This is in read-write mode. And now I'm going to create a table space. After that, we are going to create users and privileges, and we will cross-check whether we are able to connect to the database from Golden Gate or not. These are the steps which we are going to do now. So first, I'm going to create the table space. Create table space GG_India. Instead of India, let's make it as a US for better clarity. And data file is this is, again we will cross-check what is the location over here. Select name from v dollar data file. Okay, GGUS. Okay, and rest everything will be same. Okay. Okay, table space has been created, and now I'm creating the user. User also I'm creating with the same names to make our life easy. You can create any different username also. There is no hard and fast rule for the username conventions. And here also I'm granting the privileges, full privileges. That is the DBA privilege I'm giving. Okay, so user creation has been done on the target mission. Now I'm going to check the connectivity. Again, I'm going back to Golden Gate Home. Yeah, Amir, there are certain privileges are there. I will share with you. Approximately 8 to 10 privileges are there. I'm going to share with you. Those are, let me see you. Like select any and alter any table and update or insert on replication tables, etc. I will share with you once the session is completed. Okay, so I'm connecting to the 11G and Golden Gate environment. Okay, so again I connected to the Golden Gate environment over here. Again I'm going to check help DB login. It's not required anyway, I already shown you. DB login, user ID, GG user, password, GG user. So I'm able to connect to the database. So from up to this, we are able to connect to the database from Golden Gate environment, and seems now we are good. Okay, so this is a completion of Golden Gate software. Now we are moving ahead with configuring the rest of the components. So whatever the components we need to configure it, we are going to configure those components one by one, and we will move ahead with the other activities. Okay, let me switch back to my regular digital notepad. It's not required. I can make use it from here itself on the notepad for today. Okay. If you remember, the first component in Golden Gate is the main component in Golden Gate is manager process. Apart from manager, we have other components called extract and replicate and data pump and trail files. As a part of replication configuration, the first step and foremost important component is manager, which we need to start configuring it on both the environments. Once that is completed, then according to our requirement, we will configure the extract as well as data pump and replicate on either at source or target mission. Okay, so now I am going to start with manager configuration. Manager is basically a process which controls the rest of the components configured for Golden Gate. So that is the reason we are going to configure a manager initially. Okay, so let me configure the manager in source mission. After that, I will configure the same component in target mission also. And the second point is, if you remember, sometime back I mentioned about the parameter files for each component. The way how we used to have a parameter file for Oracle database environment, the similar way we have a parameter file for all the Golden Gate components. All the Golden Gate components, manager will have its own parameter file, and extract will have its own parameter file, and replicate will have its own parameter file, and data pump also will have its own parameter file. So before configuring any component, the first important point is we need to configure the we need to prepare the parameter file, and the second one is we need to add that component into GG. Third one is start the component as and when required. Okay, so these are the three steps for configuring any component. What is those steps? One is a parameter file, preparation of the parameter file, and the second one is add that component to Golden Gate, and third one is starting the component. Suppose if it is a manager, we need to prepare a manager parameter file for that, and after that we will start the manager directly, no need to add separately for that. But whereas in case of extract and replicate, we will add it separately, then we will start the extract and replicate. Okay, so let me start with the parameter file. Okay, so the parameter file is nothing but a normal text-based file. The way how you used to create for like Oracle database, the same way we are going to create a parameter file for manager or extract or replicate in Golden Gate as well. Only the difference over here is that we can create the parameter file from Golden Gate prompt, or you can type it manually from VI prompt. Okay, both the ways the same action is going to happen. What exactly happening is that it is going to create one text-based file in DAR PRM parameter file location. I think I haven't covered that folder when I was talking. In DAR PRM location, DAR PRM folder, it is going to create text-based file with component name.mgr file name. Okay, for example, now for manager, this is the file naming convention. So in the DAR PRM folder, it is going to create one file for that, and that file will be text-based file, so that anybody can able to view it, and anybody can able, anybody means we can directly edit the file and we can view the file, or we can modify the file contents using GGSCI also. So I'm going to show you how we are going to do that. Okay, so this is the component for parameter related changes. Params is the object name. For that we can perform two actions. One is edit, we can view it. We can change the contents, or we can view the changes, or we can view the contents of that file. So by using these three commands, two commands, we can change the parameters, or we can do whatever we need to do. So let me show you how at OS level DAR PRM. So this is the location where all the parameters files will be created. So this is nothing but Oracle 11G, this is Golden Gate 11G home, and in that we created DAR PRM as a part of create subdirectories command. It created DAR PRM. It was not there. During the installation itself, this PRM folder was created. In that, our parameter file will be created. See, let's see now. Okay, so I mentioned this is the available commands for this. What I am going to do is edit. What we are going to do, parameters we are going to change, on which we are going to, for which we are preparing these parameters, that we have to specify over here. So either it could be manager or replicate we can mention, or extract we can mention it over here. Currently we are preparing for manager, so we are mentioning it as a manager. And one more thing, important point over here is, in Golden Gate we can use abbreviations of the names, actually abbreviations of these components. Instead of typing manager we can say MGR. For extract we can specify EXT. For replicate we can specify REP. No need to type complete name. Say for example for manager we can use MGR. I mean, it's a small or cap, doesn't make any difference. And one more thing, in Golden Gate there is no, it's not a case sensitive. Either you can use capital letters or small letters. So it doesn't make any difference for that. So that point also we need to remove. Extract, EXT you can use replicate, REP. We can use these abbreviations. So I'm using MGR as an abbreviation over here. Okay, so when you run that command edit params MGR, automatically internal what happens, it opens a file with mgr.mgr file in VI editor actually. Here whatever the parameters we require to specify for manager, we are going to specify over here, and we will save it and we will exit it. So that's all. Automatically it will create internally one parameter file which is of text based, and it will be used as and when we are starting and stopping the managers. Okay, so now we opened the environment file, I mean like a parameter file for manager, and we need to specify the parameters for specific to our manager. Please note, for manager, the minimal parameter required for configuring manager is only we need to specify port number. No other values are required. So for manager, the minimal parameters required are port value, nothing else. Okay, so this is the only value which we are going to specify for manager. So the default port is 7809, and if we specify this value, that is sufficient. No other parameters are required. Apart from, there are a couple of other parameters are required, but for time being we are going to start with the port value only, and as and when required we will keep adding the parameters to the manager parameter file. Okay, so now I'm going to specify port 7801, and one more important point here is you can include the comments using two hyphens, and after that you can specify anything. So let me specify comments manager parameter file for source. It's not mandatory, just I'm adding for our convenient. Port 7809. So this is the default one. Say if you see, it is creating a file at drprm location. Okay, so just I will save it and I will exit. So automatically it will come to the Golden Gate prompt. Here also whatever the VI commands are there, that only need to be used while changing the parameters from Golden Gate prompt. Okay, so that is completed. So I can edit or I can view the parameters. So for viewing the parameters, just view. View means this in this view is there. So view params MGR. Okay, so these are the contents which we added in the parameter file, so it is displaying. If you see at OS level also, DAR-PRM parameter files, mgr.prm, sorry, I think earlier I mentioned mgr.mgr, not mgr.mgr, mgr.prm. So it created a file called mgr.prm. So similar way it will create for each component whatever you configure it for your Golden Gate replication. Okay, so this is about the manager parameter file. So once you complete the configuration of any component, what I told you, so these are the 3 steps required for configuring any component. So the first step is completed, and the second step is not required for manager, and the third step is starting the component. So I'm going to do the same activity over here. Yeah, I think something, it's some default file got created, I guess, Sunil. I think this is not related with our configuration. I think some default file got created. Sorry, Amir, I think, yeah, I missed a few questions from your people. One is Avinash Divakar asked, the target DA database should be read-write mode. Yeah, I think 2 to 3 questions you people asked me. I will answer all these questions once manager configuration is completed. Okay, so manager has been manager, like, you know, that parameter has been configured. Now I need to start the manager. So again I will go back to the Golden Gate prompt. Again you can see for manager these are the actions I can do. One is start, stop, and info and status, etc. Say for example info manager. So it is showing it as a manager is down. Okay, and now I need to start the manager. Start manager. So again I will check whether manager has been started or not. So it is telling that a manager is running on IP and so and so, and this is the port 7801. Okay, now so manager has been configured on the source mission. So I would like to explain about the log files which are associated with this component. So as and whenever you have an issue with Golden Gate, the first place to check is ggserr.log file. The file name is ggserr.log file. So this is nothing but similar to our our database alert.log file. Okay, so if it is, I mean whatever it may be, first point to check in Golden Gate is we will check in Golden Gate ggserr.log file. So what this file contains and where it contains, where it will be available. So it will be available in Golden Gate home only directly. So this is the file ggserr file. Okay, so whatever the actions you are performing, so those will be whatever the actions you are performing at Golden Gate command prompt, those will be recorded in ggserr.log file. So whenever any issue happens, first point to check is this is the file. Okay, so now manager is also up and running. So I mentioned earlier there is a folder called RPT, dir RPT location. In this location, each component, whether it is a manager or whether it is an extract or it is a replicate, whenever you are starting or stopping, it keeps, I mean whenever it is up and running, it keeps recording all the transactions, whatever the actions it is doing, it will write into log report file that is located in dir RPT. Since now I started manager now on the source mission, it will create one file in dir RPT location. Let's move on to that location. Okay, if you see, there is a file called mgr.rpt. Okay, see, this is the file. Let me explain you the basic things. So this is about the information, whatever Golden Gate software. Okay, so this is Golden Gate Manager for Oracle so-and-so, and this is a version, whatever the version, and rest about the comments. And the main thing over here is that, I mean, this is the mission from where it is running, etc. And these are the kernel parameters, whatever it is, taking into effect. Okay, and the second thing is, this is the manager process. Okay, process ID, I will explain you what it is. And these are the parameters it is taking in, while starting the manager. So 9825 is the process ID. Let me explain you that one also. Okay, so this is the process ID, and if you see, there is a one process is running with MGR. Okay, if you see that one, so this is the 9825 and this is the 9825. So that is the information about it. And this is the utility, mgr.utility is running, and it is using the parameter file located at in this Golden Gate home dir prm parameter location mgr.prm. This is the parameter file which we created, and after that report file it is writing to this report file. So this is about the manager. In the similar way, we are going to configure it on where it is in the target machine also. So in the target machine also, the same steps I am going to follow. First I am going to create the parameter file, and after that I will add is not required for manager, and I will start the component. I will do it in a little different way over here, just in order to show how we will troubleshoot it also. Just I am going to delete this folder dir rpt. Okay, so we don't have dir rpt, so manager is not able to write any report file over there, so we cannot able to start the manager. But we will troubleshoot it in a systematic way, so that you will have a better idea in case of any trouble how we will resolve the issues. Okay. Now, the first step is I need to configure the file, parameter file for manager. Here also I am going to use the same port, that is 7809. GGSCH I am going to initiate. Here also the same way, edit params and MGR. Here also I can specify the same port number, everything. Manager configuration. And port I am using it 7809. So just a question to all, just again I will answer it also. Why I am using the same port number over here also? Is it okay to use it? The answer is yes. The reason is, both the Golden Gates environments are different. One is at source location, another one is at target location. So that is the reason I am able to use the same port on the target machine. Okay, and now I created the parameter file. I am going to check the parameter, view params, MGR. Okay, so whatever the configuration I configured, it is there. So now I am going to check whether it has been created or not. The location is dir prm location, dir prm location. So the dir prm location has been configured. Okay, next one is I am going to start the database, manager. So manager is currently down because I haven't started the manager. Start manager you can say, or MGR we can say. So manager has been started, it displayed it. I will see whether it has been started or not. So it is showing it as a down. Even if I started it also, manager has not been started. Okay, so in the systematic approach, how we are going to resolve this issue? So the first point I am going to check in GG, this one, like GGS error. So this is the contents of the GGS error location. So here, whatever the actions we are performing, it keeps track. Whatever the actions we are performing at Golden Gate prompt, those will be recorded over here. So here, the third line, if you see, it is mentioning is that unable to open the file. So this is the location. It is not able to find this location. So because of that, manager is not able to start. So if I create it, if I move back this location and I will start the Golden Gate now, I mean Golden Gate manager, it will start easily. Info manager, manager is down. Start MGR, info MGR. So now manager is running on IP so and so, and 7809 is the port number. So if you see in the Oracle home, Golden Gate location, so mgr.rpt is there. So it is going to show. So this is the parameters, these are the parameters it is taking into effect, and this is the process ID, and these are the parameters. Okay, so that's all about the configuring the manager. And in the similar way, we are going to configure the replicate and extract, but a little different for replicate and extract because it's based on, it's not compulsory processes in all the environments. And the second point is that it's based on the design, we need to add the parameters. Whereas in manager, just we added the port value and we started the manager, and it's very simple over here. But whereas in case of extract and replicate, those has to be configured according to our replication solution. Okay, so what exactly the replication solution and everything tomorrow we are going to discuss. And now one more point I missed out when I was installing Golden Gate software. See, if you remember, if you are installing any Oracle product, generally we used to have prerequisites, like these are the packages required, these are the kernel changes required, etc. So, but if you observe it, there are no prerequisites specified for Oracle Golden Gate software over here. Why it is? The reason is, whatever the Golden Gate software we are installing, for which database we are installing, already the prerequisites are set over there. Say for example, let me explain in this way. So we have downloaded Golden Gate software for Oracle 11G database. So the prerequisites, whatever required for Golden Gate software, already present, the same as Oracle 11G database. So no separate prerequisites required for Golden Gate software because those are already being configured in the server when we were installing Oracle 11G database. So for example, if we are downloading Golden Gate 11G software, please observe why I mentioned 11G over here specifically for your better understanding. For Oracle 10G database. So suppose if we are installing Golden Gate 11G software, this is different and this is different. This 11G software is different and this Golden Gate 11G is different for 11G Oracle database. I hope you understood the difference between these two. The below one is for 10G database and the above one is for 11G database. So when you are installing when you are installing Golden Gate 11G software for Oracle 10G database, so whatever the prerequisites required for 11G Golden Gate already present because we are already having 10G database. So no separate packages or no separate kernel parameters needs to be configured specifically for Golden Gate software. So that is the reason we haven't done any changes at package level or at kernel parameters level. Okay, so this is the one more important point you need to understand. Okay, so I think it's already 12:10. I mean your time is around 9:10 I think. And let me answer the questions whatever the few people raised it. Yeah, I mean we can have it. Let me come back to each and every question. Okay, first question raised by Amir is what is the minimum privileges required if DBA is not granted? In this scenario, actually there are approximately 8 to 9 privileges are there. Those are like select any table, insert any table, update any table, or delete any table, and select any dictionary table, etc. There is a list. I'm going to share once the session is over, so that you can grant those things. So that is about the first question. And second question is, Avinash asked like a target database should be in read-write mode only. Yeah, this is for this. Actually, the answer is yes and no also. Yes means it's basically depend on your configuration. If you are doing one-way replication, that is only the transactions are taking place in the source and target, there won't be any transactions taking place in the target means in the configuration, target should be in read-only mode. Okay, but whereas in bidirectional mode configuration means transactions takes place in source as well as in target simultaneously. In this scenario, target should be in read-write mode because transactions taking place at both the ends. So that is about the second question. Third question, is there any DB initialization parameters we need to set before starting Golden Gate configuration? No need of any changes to the database. That is the advantage with Golden Gate. If you see at the source location, Golden Gate is not interacting with the database at any cost. It is only performing read, it is reading only what is that, online read log files only. So no need of any changes to the parameter file. Okay, and Amir, can we have 11G database as well as source and 10G as, yeah, vice versa we can have it. That's not a problem, I think. I'm not sure about 11G versus 10G, but as a part of upgrade, we can have it in a reverse way. I think this also should not be any problem, but anyway, I will cross check and I will let you know in the next session. Okay, so if any doubts related with these topics, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can call it as a day for today. And tomorrow again we can have it. And I'm stopping the recording over here.